Hello, welcome to Monday's Knots Today. I'm Al Booth. I hope you're nice and relaxed after the weekend. Thank you for being here. Hope you had a good one. This is what is on today's show for you. We're going to head to the village where people are banding together to protect their local from a national branded takeover.
Big companies want to take over our little village pubs, and we need to stand up and preserve that tradition, because if we're not careful we will lose it all, and this is really important to this community.
We're also going to meet the Knots hairdresser who's become the first person in our area to obtain a degree in hairdressing. Marie Hall runs a salon in West Bridgford, and she got the degree through a partnership with Weller in Germany. She's going to be here later to tell us how that will transform her hairdressing ability. She hasn't brought us scissors though, which is unfortunate. There we go. We're going to also hear from the exceptional Nottinghamshire Police PCSO, who's been commended for her impact on solving crime across the county.
And he says, I want CCTV for this job, and I will go out and get that CCTV. Yeah, there's not a lot of cameras in the city centre that I don't know exist.
In sport, we'll have some important signing news for Forest after fan favourite fullback Ola Aina signed to a new contract. The Nigerian international will stay on at the club for another 3 years after a breakout season at right back. We'll have more on that later on. And we'll also get reaction to a big win for the Notts Outlaws as well. 17-year-old Farron Ahmet secured victory over Leicestershire with the final ball of the game.
Yeah, it was good. Very excited. Bit nervous going out there, but yeah, what a way to get a win. Good learnings out there, and hopefully bring that into the next game.
There you go, all that and loads more as well, just for you today. First then, a local pub is receiving huge support from its patrons as it faces a refurbishment and new management. The Horse and Groom's been the pint puller of choice in Linby for decades now, but there are plans for a new look which have given way to a huge backlash, not just by regulars but also by an MP. They're petitioning to prevent the pub sharing the fate of others across the country. So today, Jack Sims went to find out more.
A pub defined and defended by its patrons. The Horse and Groom has been pulling pints for Linby residents since the 17th century, but the historic pub faces a future its locals are looking to bar. Last month, Star Pubs, the pub's owner and part of Heineken UK, announced the boozer would be receiving some new renovations, from modern signage and exterior to a sports bar area too. But upon hearing this, and the fact that the current landlord will have to leave in August, Linby has linked together in protest. They've been delivering a petition to Gedling Borough Council of more than 2,000 signatures to prevent the pub's updated look. Wyn Lewis is on the parish council and says the pub is more than just a tap house. It's a pillar of the community that doesn't need changing.
People come here because it isn't a generic model of a pub that most pubs are like. There are loads of those pubs around us, and the reason people come here is because it isn't like that. We don't want Sky Sports televisions, you know what I mean? They don't want that. That's not what this pub is about. It never has been, never has, you know, never will be.
And it's not just residents who are calling for a hold on the works. Last week, local MP Michelle Welsh spoke in Parliament about preventing other traditional pubs across the country from sharing the same fate. She says it's more than just pints. It's about preserving tradition against big businesses.
Big companies want to take over our little village pubs, and we need to stand up and preserve that tradition, because if we're not careful we will lose it all, and this is really important to this community. It's a meeting place, it's a hub, it's about well-being, it's about people being able to see their friends. This is our village pub, and we want it to stay in its traditional way that it's always been.
We also spoke with some of the pub's patrons to hear their thoughts on the refurbishment.
People won't travel here to a sports bar. What we need here is that community feel. It's all we've got really that sort of is the heart of the village. And
my family, my mum worked here in the 70s, I worked here in the 90s, my two boys worked here in the last 10 years, and in all that time we've worked for different landlords, the pub's been under different ownership, but it's always been the village pub.
In a statement, Star Pub said that the changes to the Horse and Groom would be positive, and the works would make it a pub the local community could be proud of. But for Linby locals, it's keeping the Horse and Groom's identity intact that will earn their cheers. Jack Sims for Knots TV.
Right then, it is time for a brilliant chat now on the show. We're about to meet a woman who is a cut above the rest. Marie Hall runs MH Hair in West Bridgford and has become the first hairdresser in our area to achieve a degree level qualification in hairdressing. She's only one of 24 people across the entire country to get that. It's the equivalent to a bachelor's degree, and Marie is here to tell us all about it and how it's going to be used in the future as well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
First of all. So how did this come about?
So Weller launched it 2 years ago, and I was selected out of a pool of 108. There was 33 of us that started it, and there's 24 left that completed it.
Wow.
And I'm lucky and proud enough to say I'm the only one in the Midlands region.
Yeah, well, like I say, congratulations. Yeah. That sounds pretty tough then, if 33 started and then people dropped out along the way, like some sort of TV reality show. I mean, was it tough?
I think everybody's got a personal experience of how they perceived the qualification. For me, I just thrived through it.
Right.
They say panic. I didn't go into panic. I just thrived throughout the whole journey and loved every minute of it. To be honest with you, I'm quite sad that it's ended.
Oh, wow. That is completely the opposite of my take on academia, but well, that's great. And you're doing something more in the future, but before we get to any of that, let's talk about what is it then? What does this mean for you?
So for me, it's just added to the knowledge that I had, but in a greater depth. So the topics that were covered was academic research. So that covered from apprenticeships, how the hairdressing industry is changing, from salons employing to going to rent a chair and not having the apprentices like we were. College format changing as well. Then we went into business and leadership and management, which also covered the costs that you run in at a profit, because no one opens a business to not run at a profit. The next chapter was psychology, which covered from mental health right through to physical, and how you would deal with antisocial behaviour in the salon.
Wow.
So, you know, loads of
things you wouldn't think of.
No.
You know, as a customer.
Yeah.
I mean, not been a customer for too long.
No,
But
I think this is the thing. It's not talked about. It's not just about hair. There's lots of things that go off behind the scenes that isn't seen. And then the final two chapters was the biology and chemistry part. And I do feel that some of the biology regarding the hair structure should be brought into GCSE level, just so that teachers of today can understand what we have to learn as hairdressers to be able to do our job correctly. Because at the end of the day, you are mixing the biology and the chemistry together, and you need to know what's going to happen with those two mixed together.
Yeah, well, especially if you're dyeing hair and stuff, I suppose. How has it changed then, hair, since you got into it?
Certainly, there's more knowledge available now to us compared to when I started 16 years ago. If you take the hair shaft, we were only taught at level 2 standard that there's 3 parts to the hair, the cuticle, medulla and cortex. There's actually 8 parts to the hair shaft and 3 parts just to the cuticle alone. So I think that part would be really interesting for GCSE level, for anybody that's thinking about hairdressing. They can see, oh, there's actually a lot more science to it than meets the eye. It's understanding that the pH level has to be raised in the hair shaft for us to be able to lift it. And if it's not raised to the right level, the product's not going to do its job.
So what does this mean for you and your actual salon? So if I walk into your salon tomorrow, you know, what does it mean for your customers that you have this knowledge in that?
That I can deal with every situation that potentially walks through my door. So we covered a section in the biology regarding hair loss. So that covered from menopause to weight loss, changing your diet, lacking vitamins in your diet, stress. All of that factor was covered so that we could advise our clients in the right way. So, for example, last year I had a client that's been coming to me for 15 years. She suddenly started getting alopecia.
Right.
She's never suffered with it. I sent her to the doctors to have a blood test. It turned out she was very low in vitamin D, and that's what actually caused the hair loss. I says, let's give it 6 months, let's see if it starts to grow back. If it's not grown back within a year, then you're going to have to go to that next step and go and look at seeking trichology appointment. But it came back.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much. Unfortunately, we've run out of time.
Yeah.
But I know your journey continues, and we'll talk more. My question is always, how can you help a middle-aged man going through a midlife crisis compete with his receding hairline? But we'll talk about that next time when I come in. But thank you. Well done, Marie. Wow. Right, time for some more headlines now. A man's been arrested after tiles were thrown from roofs and police cars were damaged in a Notts village. Police were called to Burcoats last Thursday afternoon after reports of a burglary in East Street. They say an offender entered a property and made threats before climbing onto the roofs and throwing tiles down, which damaged 2 marked police vehicles and a resident's car as well. A police officer was also struck on the chest by a projectile. A 30-year-old man was later arrested on suspicion of aggravated burglary, criminal damage and assaulting an emergency worker. Right, still to come, we're going to be talking about cricket. We have a bright new star here in Notts. He's going to do big things. We'll be talking to him next. Also, some good news if you're a Forest fan about well, not a new signing, a current player who signed a new contract. And it's only 2 weeks away from Splendor. It's back. It wasn't here last year. It's going to be here this year. We're going to be doing a little bit of reminiscing as we get ready for a summer of music here in Notts. That's next. Hello, welcome back to Monday's show. Thank you for being here. I hope you're well. This is what's coming up for you, and we've got more details that have been set out for the return of Nottingham's annual beach attraction. It's back in the city next week. Old Market Square is currently in the process of being transformed into its annual summer attraction, and then it'll be back on July the 16th, with the beach bar heading to the shores of Santorini. It's going to be open Monday to Sunday from 10 in the morning. Organisers says there's going to be a giant slide, there's bungee trampolines, there's hook-a-duck, water balls, other rides as well as food and drink. And of course, the sandy beach and the paddling area. It's all back because it's summer. Now, road closures will affect overnight traffic as repainting work gets going on Lady Bay Bridge. The bridge connects Meadow Lane area of Nottingham with Lady Bay and West Bridgeford, and it's being repainted to protect its metalwork from corrosion. It's going to close overnight to traffic from this evening. That will allow for the repainting, and the footway will close between 8:30 in the morning and 5:30 p.m. each day between now and August the 20th. Now we're about to hear from a city centre PCSO who's described as the font of all knowledge when it comes to CCTV inquiries. She's been recognised by Nottinghamshire Police for her efforts in fighting crime. PCSO Emily Fisk joined the force in 2008. She's been described as outstanding and has won the force's PCSO of the Year prize at a recent award ceremony. Well, in a new video, she explained what that means, and the people who nominated her explains what she does so well.
It's nice to be acknowledged for my hard work. I just like a challenge. I get given a job by mainly my inspector, and he says, I want CCTV for this job, and I will go out and get that CCTV. Yeah, there's not a lot of cameras in the city centre that I don't know exist. Obviously, some businesses can't afford to upgrade their systems, so some systems are really old, some are really grady, some where you can't actually see. It is challenging, it is a lot of hard work, tracking's a lot of cameras, there's a lot of uploading, but it's nice to get that end money shot of the face.
Emily is particularly skilled at CCTV. You could name a street and ask me what's the CCTV like on that street, and I could fetch Emily in here and she will tell you not only which shops have got CCTV, she'll tell you how good the quality of the CCTV is in that shop. She'll be able to tell you how far out it can see from the doorway from that shop. She will know which members of staff know how to operate the CCTV system. She will know which ones you need to take a USB stick for. Everybody who works at Byron knows if you want some CCTV, and if you really want the CCTV, Emily's the person you go and ask. She's helped out CID in lots of instances. It's that level of self-determination to do that little bit more than what you've been asked to do, and that's what Emily routinely does. She's always keen to help. Emily's one of those people where She will approach you and say, I'm here today, is there something you want me to do? She doesn't wait to be tasked, she comes and seeks out work, and she's just a really valuable asset.
Right, moving on now. In case you missed it, we showed the latest episode of the Notts TV debate on Friday. Frances Finn is back, and so are her panel of local guests, talking through some of the big issues that are hitting the headlines. That includes Nottingham Forest's City Ground expansion and a ban on bins at Sherwood Pines as well. You can catch the full show. It's on demand now. You can see it at nottstv.com. or on Notts TV official on YouTube, or we're going to show it throughout the month, but you don't expect you to just sit in the TV and wait. That's silly. Here's some of the discussion about the City Ground expansion.
I think there's another issue involved in it, because capacity allows the club to be able to spend more money on players, more money on wages, support the economy, and that would support the economy. At the end of the day, in my view, we've missed an opportunity to build an iconic new stadium that would future-proof the club.
Where would you put it?
There are several opportunities. It could go at Gamston, it could go out the other side of the city, the Derby side of the city, maybe attract a few Derby County supporters.
So Premiership football,
So that would be, but we are where we are now with it, and the decision has been made, and we can't go back. So,
but you think this is actually a mistake, because now there is no going back.
Yeah, well, there is no going back. So you know, I support my club and I want my club to expand, but at the end of the day, that would have been my preference.
And do you, I mean, as a business owner, Trey, how much of an impact do things like football clubs and the feel-good factor in a city make to people in real terms?
I don't really see it.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't really see it. I guess Hooters will, you know, will be glad that there's more people coming. But I guess it's like any of these, you know, big events that happen in city centre, like the beach and the, you know. When I was in the city centre, we didn't see it. We actually we see a lack of business because.
Right, let's have a look at some sport now, shall we? We'll start with Notts Outlaws, because their 17-year-old Farhan Ahmed helped them to a dramatic last ball victory in a Derby Day clash with the Leicestershire Foxes at Trent Bridge. 2 runs were needed from the final ball as last man Ahmed dug out a Yorker to grab the runs, and that helped Notts to their first 1-wicket win in T20 cricket. Speaking after the game, the youngster said it was a great way to get the win in a nail-biting thriller.
Yeah, it was good. Very excited. Bit nervous going out there, but yeah, what a way to get a win. A bit disappointed with the ball. I thought with a wicket like that, I shouldn't have gone for as many runs, but good learnings out there, and hopefully bring that into the next game. Yeah, very good. It's definitely a format I would love to keep playing and keep expanding, because look at the modern world and everyone's playing it. So yeah, it's a very good format. Yeah, we always talk before a game about what kind of batter does this, and then how to bowl in this type of service. And Boats has helped us a lot, quite a bit here as well.
Let's stay with cricket, but it wasn't to be for the Blaze after they suffered a washout in Durham. Repeated rainfall caused their Vitality Blast clash to be abandoned with just 4 overs bowled. Grace Ballinger claimed the only victory of the game, which was abandoned in the afternoon after repeated bad weather. Both sides took 2 points from the clash. Surrey are next up at Trent Bridge, though, on Friday. I think the weather is going to be a little bit better than that. In football, Nottingham Forest have confirmed fullback Ola Aina has extended his stay at the club until 2028. The Nigerian international started 35 out of 38 Premier League matches last season, and that helped the Reds back into Europe for the first time in 30 years. He was deployed on the right-hand side of defence last year, and he scored twice, including that left-footed strike against West Ham at the City Ground. He said the club has always felt like home to him, and his focus now is on getting back to the hard work for next season. Now, just in case you didn't know, it's less than 2 weeks until Nottingham's biggest summer party, Splendor, comes back to the grounds of Woollerton Hall. How we have missed it. It's been 2 years since the last event. Madness played. Noel Gallagher was the headline for Sunday as well. Well, this year we're going to see Block Party, Jake Bugg, Travis, Kaiser Chiefs, as well as so many more. So let's get in the mood, shall we? And as Oasis were back together on their reunion tour on Friday night, Here's a look back at our backstage interview with Noel Gallagher, led by Nottingham's own Vicky McClure at the last Splendor.
Everything. I mean, as a young guy, before I was like doing it for a living, it was everything. And yet I've been through different stages with it, where it's my life now and it's a job and all that. It's everything. For me, it's escapism. It's changed my life through my music. Hopefully it changes other people's lives. I don't think it can be overstated, the power of music. I think it's the one thing that truly does bring people together, because it's universal language. You know, a song can mean as much to somebody in Tokyo as it can in Nottingham. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's.
And you're touring in Japan soon, aren't you?
I am.
What's that like?
It's far out. My kids are over there taking the mickey out of me. It's far out. I mean, I love it. I mean, Japanese people they're something else. They're not like anything. You know, Japanese culture is. It's not remotely like the world is becoming more and more Americanized these days, but Japan still remains. It's got its own quirks and all that. But it's great. If you like the food, it's great.
Yeah, and it's amazing that your music, this is the thing, it travels everywhere, doesn't it?
Well, this is one of the things when I first started, and you would go to places like Tokyo and Seoul in South Korea, and they'd be singing these words, and a lot of them can't even speak English, but it would freak me out. It was just like, you couldn't believe it, you know. But it just shows you the power of a tune and a melody, and how people attach songs to different points in their lives, and it means something to them. You know what I mean? You'll see it here tonight when I start playing Don't Look Back in Anger, for example. The place will go like crazy, and it'll be mostly people who weren't born when it was out. You know, so it's a real privilege for me as a songwriter that my songs have lasted all this length of time. It's great.
No, you're a legend.
I know.
How has it been in Nottingham?
I literally only just got here. I wasn't expecting it to be this wet, but Sean Dyche is over there, look, giving my kids a pep talk.
Are they into football?
Oh God, yeah. Nottingham, I've always had a great time in Nottingham. There's some great gigs with Oasis way back. Might even played the university, but yeah, Nottingham's a cool place. I love it. You live here. You know what's not to love about it.
Right, it's time for another look, well, for a look at your picture of the day now. And this great photo is of a grazing horse. It was taken near Weymouth by our news editor, Andrew Topping. You can send us yours, knots_TV, on the socials if that's your thing. Right, we look at the weather. So it's been a bit overcast today, isn't it? Highs of 19, which has been fine. It's going to be 11 over into tomorrow. And that's when we get the sunny skies back as well. Nothing but sunshine. The highs of 23 degrees tomorrow. Dropping to a fairly warm 13 into Wednesday. It's going to be a bit cloudy, but 25 degrees. Yes, it's going to be nice. And then as we get towards the weekend, it's going to be an absolute scorcher. That's it then. That's the end of the show for now. Thank you for being with me. If you want to see Splendor from the past, you can see it at knotstv.com and catch up. And speaking of catching up, I'll catch up with you tomorrow at 5:30. Bye-bye.